Hi, welcome to Courageous Home Care. I'm Jeanette Bush.
Hi, I'm Ysadine Harrell.
And our topic today is a good one. Today we're going to talk about stamina. And Ysadine, I know you had another word for stamina, which is?
Persistent.
Okay. We're going to talk about the work of caregiving and how we have to have stamina to do this work. Because anytime you're dealing with the lives of clients and individuals, you are going to have really challenging days. And you're going to have some days that are good, but always, no matter what's happening in the day, you still have to be able to keep going, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so I want to share this with you. You don't know this yet. I thought I would just wait and share this. I won't share specific names. But today, this morning, I was doing calls, and one of our clients who's in the room, he was with me as I was doing client calls and fielding them. Well, in the process, I had one of the clients that I reached and he broke down. I mean, sobbing. He broke down and he just started crying, and he was telling me about how he didn't feel like his life was worth it, that he felt like he missed the mark. And so I literally had to stop what I was doing. I was doing some paperwork while we were having a conversation, and I literally stopped because it startled me because I wasn't expecting the response. And then I said, "Oh no, you are so valuable. You are so valuable. Tell me, do you think that's a pretty good response today? With how I was able to have that conversation with the client who had a really rough day. I did not expect him to break down." Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think that was a good response, because sometimes we don't know what to say, but just being the encouraging individual that we try to be, I think it makes a difference. Just knowing people know that they are valuable and they know that they have a place in life, and that helps a lot in terms of just anybody, even on our day-to-day. If I know that I'm going to wake up, I have a purpose, I'm going to get up and do what I have to do on a daily, because it is my God-given purpose. It makes a difference, because there are times I don't want to get up out of bed. So, I have to talk to myself and wake up.
Let me hear what a self-talk conversation would be like.
Oh, it's pretty real. I had one this morning.
A self-talk?
Yeah.
Oh my, let me hear
I
it.
did not want to get up. I laid in the bed there. Usually I wake up around 6. I woke up at 6 and went back to bed. Oh yeah, that's unusual. I haven't done that in about a year. And so I had to lay there and say, okay, Lord, the purpose. I need to get up. I need to do things. I know I have a lot to do. I really don't want to do it. And so I talked back and forth, and then I looked at my wall, and then I prayed. I said, okay, Lord, I'm getting up now. Okay, I'm going to go do this, because I have people that's depending on me. I have a task list. I have to do these things. And so that is, part of my drive. And I guess it lines up with the topic. I didn't even know it was going to line up. But I had to have this conversation with myself, internally, to say, I can do this. We're going to go conquer the day. And I said, today is going to be a great day. So I have to talk to myself. It's going to be an awesome day. No matter what happens, it's going to be an awesome day. And so because of what we do, for the ones that haven't been listening to the Facebook Live or whatever, we are in-home agency. We're an in-home agency, and we take care of elderly, disabled individuals. We also have an adult day program that the individuals come to. And then also I have a residential care facility that's 11 beds facility, and also have an independent living. So it's a vast variety of services that people really depend on us as caregivers, and we have to be our best. So even if we have to do everything to be our best, you have to get up ready, because people are looking at you and they want to make sure You know, they're leaning on you. You know, sometimes we have to be the cheerleader. I had to be a cheerleader this morning, you know, to a client of mine. I'm like, you can do this. What's your purpose? Let's go. You know, so, so I have to be good for other people to be good, you know. So if I'm bad, guess what? The whole day's going to be bad. So,
So persistence, just getting up, and you nailed a couple of really good. You drove home a couple of really good points there about saying to yourself, "I must get up. I have a purpose." I heard that. I have a purpose, and you did something else I think is pretty amazing. You reminded yourself that self-talk is real. It is something that we all have to engage in. I admit I engage in it quite frequently. I do engage in a lot of prayer too. Prayer is essential for me, and I know that I have to always recenter. I have to find a way to be to have stamina to keep going. I have to always recenter. So when things get a little fuzzy or I feel like they're not where I want them to align, I kind of stop for a moment and I go back to my why. What is my why? That's the purpose you were talking about. But I ask myself, what is your why? Why are you doing this? What is the reason behind you doing it? And then when I've had that kind of mental clarity and I've had opportunity to pray, typically I also do something else. I like to rest because sometimes my brain gets clouded. You ever feel like it feels overwhelmed, or I get like there are too many things on the list. So what I typically do when I start to feel like that, I'll stop whatever I'm doing. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop right now. And then particularly at the end of the day, I tend to go long. I have to learn. I'm not good at cutting off my days, but I typically go long. And when it's quiet, then I say, okay, I'm going to stop. And then typically when I stop and get rest, I come back and recenter. Yeah. Do you find that to be true? Does that help you rest, or you find it in different ways? I know you work out in the morning too.
I do try to work out
because we work together.
Yeah. I have to work out. If I don't work out, I'm gonna have a bad day, even if it's 10 minutes on the treadmill. So what I do, like, I had a prime example of this overwhelming feeling, which I hadn't had in a long time, because I wake up in a decent time, I read my Bible, I'll go and journal, and so today I chose to go back to bed, like I said, and so I woke up with, oh my goodness, I have so much to do, and went back to bed. So I kind of beat myself up for a little bit. I did. I went into the meltdown stage, and then I said,
wait,
no.
Did you miss the workout?
No, I got the workout in. No, that workout, 20 minutes, I got it in.
Okay.
The thing is, the modification I did was I didn't read as long of my Bible that I usually do. Usually about an hour, so I had to modify it to like 30 minutes, and then journal like 10 minutes, and then jump on the treadmill for 20 minutes. So no, I got everything in that I usually do. But the thing is, when I do feel that overwhelmed spirit, I'm like, that's not it. It's not going to happen. I talk to myself again.
Self-talk.
And I say, okay, take deep breaths. And I've talked before about the take deep breaths. So the 3 deep breaths in and out really helps me. It centers me back into where I need to be and forget about all this panic situations that I think is going to happen, because I had somewhere to be at 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm doing what I'm going to focus on. So I tell everyone this, just focus on the present. We only have the present. That's all God gave us, is the present. If you're worried about things that's going to happen in an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, you're going to feel overwhelmed, shut down. It's not going to happen. So now I'm starting to work on the present. What am I doing currently? I'm going to sit here, I'm going to read my Bible, and then I'll look at these text messages and answer anybody's text message, and then I'm going to do this. So I have to do my routine and then jump into what are other people's needs.
Now, that is so good, because you're the owner, and you have a very full plate, and you have a lot of hats within that to carry, whether it is employee matters, client matters, healthcare, providing that, insurance information, billing. The list is on and on, because you wear so many hats. And then you're talking about various locations throughout, as you talk about the number of businesses that are that you are managing. And let's not forget, we're going to put in the school part. We're going to plug that as we undertake that whole initiative, which is yet another undertaking. But serving adults and young adults with disabilities being caregivers, it is just, it's a mountain, and the needs are vast, right?
Yes.
All in the community. So if the clients or employees can't take their lead from you, it could be very interesting. Because whether you want to be in that role or not be in that role, that's the role that you're in, right?
Yes.
For that day, even if you want an extra 30 minutes of sleep, can't just lay there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Stamina. I think about this from another perspective, and I want to just delve into for those caregivers and clients or those who are being impacted, because everybody on some level we're caring for somebody, right? So whether it's our spouse, our loved one, our children, whether it is our grandparents, or our aging parents, you have a lot of that, or grandparents or great grandparents, or neighbors. Sometimes we're caring for those people or people that we worship with. The personal part is so critical to carve out that time, right? Because even though you say it's present, you have so many hurdles throughout the course of a day.
Yeah.
So even with the best planning and the best list, I'm a list person too, there are so many things that can get in the way, right? Get in the way of the list. And trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to navigate right now? And those who are believers, I'm not here to tell you what to believe or how to believe, but I do think that faith is an essential part of being able to, or prayer, meditation, self-talk, all those things are important to be able to get back to the place where you can begin to manage your things. When you're in a home is different. I don't know about you. For me, I always said this with my own, when I was raising my children, they're grown now, but still guiding them. When I go home has to be for me like base. You know how you play a sport and you get to base, if it's baseball, when I get on the base, when I get on that bag or on that whatever am I saying the right word, Miss Wilson, bag? Okay, when I get on the bag, I'm safe and I stand here. Well, that's how I feel when I go home. When I go home, that's my safe. Right? And so you can't come out of nothing can come into the walls of home. Like, this has to be my this has to be my place of comfort. Now, when you have caregivers who are burning on both ends, when you're burning, meaning I'm working during the day and now I'm working again, because we do have loved ones at home. And we do have, my dad is 81. Let me give you some perspective, right? Dealing with a number of health issues. So you do have loved ones who get sick. Now I have to turn around and burn again. I have to work again. But now I'm supposed to be safe because this is safe. But now it's shifted. And I know there are a lot of people that feel that. I know whether they're men or women, moms or dad, husbands or wives, aunts or uncles, or mamas or TTs, you know what I mean, or meemaws. All of those, you just want those days where I need a break.
Your time,
right? So, what do you say to those who are not working? Okay, because we have weekends, right? And we have evenings. Yeah. And on our in-home side, some of them aren't doing evenings, and they don't do evenings and weekends. Yeah. Late in the evening. What is your advice to those individuals? About stamina and rest and self-talk.
Again, you still have to try to manage your time as much as possible. Speaking of being a caregiver and also working, I helped take care of my mom, even though she lived in Des Moines. When she was ill, she came to me. And so, because thank God I have my own business, I was able to log mom around everywhere I went. Mom went. So come on, mom, let's go. We got a time schedule here. And so, I still had to take care of her during, trying to take care of these other people and running to go see a client. Mom, stay in this car, I'll be right back, that type of thing. So I had to manage that. So then I came home, she had a lot of elements too, health elements. So I had to still take care of her at home. So it was just trying to manage that schedule, however it looks like, it's not going to be perfect. So you can't beat yourself up, but whatever you can get done, that's all. It's only one day, 24 hours in a day. You can't make it work more than that. So
how are you able to connect with your clients with that? So in that, like, you're taking care of mom. Now are you going, okay, Now I know what my work. Now I know what my employees feel. Like I'm feeling what they're feeling. Did you ever share that?
No, I didn't, because I guess I never had no one that came to me with a concern or anything as such. You know, I just do. You just get up and do. You know, and so no, I've never had someone come and say, "Well, what do I need to do?" And I think that's why this podcast is very important. That's why we came up with things like that, so we can enlighten others. You know, you're not going to be perfect at it, so don't beat yourself up. But there are times that you're going to need to step back and take a break from caregiving for yourself, because otherwise you're going to burn out. And then you're also going to have an attitude. That's what it's called, a toot, I call it. You're going to have a toot because you're tired and you didn't get a break, and you have to work during your daytime, and then you have to come home and care for an elderly person or whatever. And so you need to find that balance where you just say, okay, maybe bedtime for that elderly person's 8 o'clock. So I can have from 8 to 9 to take deep breaths,
Finding
whatever. Yeah.
Finding time.
Yes.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to, if I can chime in, that is so good. I think about when I taught for a number of years, what I would do when I get home, because I knew I have a disabled sister, so I'd have her there with me and the children. So I always said I need 30 minutes when I come through the door. So I had a rule like, okay, let me get through the door. I'm gonna go straight to my room, shut the door. Remember, my home is safe. It's safe. But even while I'm in the home, remember I got to get on the second wind because I know I'm working again. So I go in the room and be like, okay, give me 30 minutes. They couldn't knock me for it then. It had to be a dire emergency, like you bleeding on the floor, like I need to call 911. Short of that, if you're hungry, find a snack. If you needed something to drink, get some water out the tap. Right now, I need this 30 minutes. And that really started helping me, because what I found out when I used to walk in after work, this is Jeanette. This is Jeanette talking about Jeanette. When I would walk in after work, right, after a long day, because caregivers, you're giving a lot of yourself. You are nice. And I would have my students at the time, oh, I love you, Miss Bush, you are so nice. And I'd be like, oh, thank you. And you get some things from those things. But then also, by the time I come to the door, I'm done, I'm drained. And I've been dealing with behaviors, and I've been dealing with trying to make sure I, have making the right progress on the professional track. And I'm working with my colleagues and trying to meet the demands of the administrators and those people that I report to. So I had to learn, so when you talk about carving time in a part of the day, I learned that worked better for me. I was like, if I can have 30, and it took me a while to get there. Because what would happen was I would come home and I would be short in my answers. So the kids come in, hey Mom, they're just talking to me. Hey, I gotta go here. What's for dinner? I got a game, and I'd be like, what? You gotta be where? And I would go into that. And I had to learn how to do a better job with scheduling in the beginning of the week. Do that in time in the middle. I'm not saying this is what you have to do. I'm saying this is what I had to do for myself in order to get to stamina. It's hard. It's hard. And I don't want anybody to think for a second that because they see us and we look wonderful, though. It's kind of like when you go to church on Sunday, everybody look real good. You got on your Sunday's best. And they don't think you gone through nothing. And you're like, if you only knew.
You only knew. Together.
Right.
So together.
Stamina is such a cool word. I know when I said stamina, when you heard me say the word stamina, what'd you say?
I said, what now?
She did, for real.
And then I changed it, persistent.
She's like, what's that? What's stamina? What is that? But just being able to get through the course of a day, it is a challenge. Every day is new. Yes. And it is. And its challenges are new. So let's talk a little bit about moving forward. Because I know you talked about being present. But when you working a business, and you're wearing the hat for a business, you're always making projections.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What are projections anyway? Tell me.
Just whatever, my projections, whatever God has given me as a vision. So I go along with whatever he says, and I say, okay, that's the projection in terms of bigger projects. My daily projection is I write task lists, and I try to do those task lists, and some days are better than others. And some days I have to just run the streets all day long. I don't get nothing done. But I take it and say, okay, I'll try tomorrow. I've learned now to not even just beat myself up over things I didn't complete. It is
because
what it
a
is.
nurse, you're seeing a lot of
life is life.
You're
Yeah.
seeing a lot of clients, and they're all over the greater Kansas City area,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
And you might be in Midtown, and then you're out in Pleasant Hill, and then you're in Lee Summit. I mean, like you're literally all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Do you recenter in your car? Do you take moments in your car?
No, I don't. I'm focus driven. When I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get it knocked out and keep it moving. No, I don't take minutes. Sometimes I don't even eat lunch. I barely go to the bathroom, so I don't drink a lot of water. But
I don't recommend that, nurse. You're a nurse.
I'm a nurse.
You don't recommend that, right?
No, I don't recommend that.
Okay.
But I'm very focus driven. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it all the way, and I want to get it done. So if I'm gonna start a project, I'm not gonna start this project and leave it alone and it doesn't get done. So I have to sit there and get it done. So the same as my nurse visits, I'll go from one home to another, and just keep it going. And there are times I'm in the home, people will call me. I don't even answer my phone because I'm going to get through with that client, and then I'm going to call you when I'm done, and then keep moving to my next client. So what I don't recommend is also calling people and driving, but that's what I do majority of the day.
I've seen her.
So I have to call people when I'm driving because
you don't recommend that either.
I don't recommend that, but I'm with the client. I'm going to handle that client's business, their questions or whatever, unless it's a dire emergency. Someone will have to call me 10 times, and I said, hold on, let me answer this phone call. But I'm very focus driven, and I have to, finish the task.
Please tell me you pull over sometimes if the conversation's long. Okay, we'll talk about that later. That's
Plead the fifth.
Okay. So I wanna think about when I was talking a little bit about the future and your projections. I kind of just wanted to touch on this a little bit, and then the last thing we can talk about is just dealing with the past, because health is ongoing, right? It's current, and your medical history, you can't change that, right? No. So but let's do projection first, and then that'll be the last thing, and then we'll wrap it up. But in the future, when you're talking about making projections, your words were, "I'll do what God tells me to do for the day." What happens when you're in the room with others because they're taking their lead from you? Do you make that recommendation for them to say, "Hey, this is where we're going," or you're just waiting? Because if God tells you, then I'm just going to, and share it with everybody, or is that to you first, or is it to you and those around? Tell me what that's like for you.
I've done both. There's times I don't share till I'm ready, and a lot of times I just kind of wait to see if it's certain we're going to take that move and that leap of faith. But usually we have team meetings on, especially with our Department of Mental Health staff and manager. We have meetings weekly, and so I've come to a conclusion everyone needs to be on the same page. We've done a leadership meeting recently, in which I really dived into this is what the vision looks like. This is first of our mission, this is our vision, and this is where we're going for the year.
Do I need to keep that mission and vision in front of me all the time?
You should. It helps. It really does.
So should I just have it like just at work, or do I need to put it in my car? Do I need to put? I'm not trying to be funny. Like for real, do I keep this with me?
I'm glad you said that.
Where do
and that's a new thing
text
for me
myself
too.
And let it text me to tell me and remind me of my mission or vision?
I love that because they said what is in your face at all times is what you're gonna do. Okay, and so even when I picked my new word, I told you I have a one word now for the year, which is confident. I'm gonna have you guys hold me accountable to it. Confident, okay, is my word. So again, it's same like a mission and a vision, but usually a mission is what you want to see happens within that organization. And this is the drive. This is why we do. This is our why we do what we do. And so the mission is very important, so we can go back and focus back on that and not take our eyes off of that, because when sometimes we take our eyes off of what we're trying to do, we kind of divert. So I think the mission is great, and that's one of the things that I've laid out to the team recently. And even when we hire individuals, we want to make sure they're lining up with the mission. We're not trying just to hire just because we need some bodies. And so that's been the newest thing that we've started to establish in the month and a half ago. And so hopefully we can continue that, because sometimes you can get caught up in the day-to-day things and just mundane, forget things that you need to do.
The last part of this we're going to talk about is a little bit about the past. We're going to connect them a little bit when we're talking about mission, vision, keeping them written down in front of you, reminding one another for accountability. I love the word for the year.
For the year.
Because you usually hear the words of the day and other, but one for the year, whoo, you really got to hone in, right? So when we think about the past, some people get locked there. I think you live long enough, life is going to happen. Things are going to happen in the course of days and days dealing with individuals just because we're human beings. And humans are fallible. We do the best we can, but we have flaws and shortcomings. And even with our words of the day and our prayers and our meditations, we sometimes just don't get there. We miss the vision and the mark. How can I climb out of what's behind me? How can I climb out of, I lost a client. I lost a client that's too hard for me. I have had, and every time I have a bad experience with a client, and that reconnects that experience with that other experience. I need to get out of this. So how am I able to move? I want to see the future. I want to see your mission and vision, but I'm still stuck. I'm stuck on March of 2023. I need to get out of there. Help me. So what would you say to that?
Just like anything else, in order for you to get better, you have to let go of the past. So whatever that looks like, if it's forgiveness or you mentioned a client, we know that we're gonna lose people, just being in this field. How do you grieve the way you want to grieve and know that this person is gone and in a better place and you've done everything you could to help the individual. We cannot save people to be here with us forever. And so in terms of moving on, it's just, okay, I remember this person, I love this person, but I do have bigger things out there I need to also go and accomplish. I lost my mom last year. And so, yes, that was hard. And I could have just balled up and just said, forget it, I'm not doing anything else in life. But, there's a mission and
it's probably still hard.
It's still hard.
Because there are going to be moments. Sometimes within that grief that you still are going to have those feelings.
And so it's just knowing that there's a higher power, and Jesus is my higher power. And I just pray and I just say, Lord, help me. Jesus, take the wheel. That's my favorite song. I say that when I'm struggling. You too? Okay. And when I'm struggling, Jesus, take the wheel. And then I just get centered again, and then I get better, and then I keep going. And so I'll encourage anyone, find a song that uplifts you, that's going to keep you going and not stay down. Again, depression is real. We haven't touched base on mental health, but we will have that in a topic. But it's real, so we cannot push away depression. It can be mild, it can be temporary, it can be permanent. And so we just have to identify those moments and say, how can I keep going, with the help, for me, of the Lord? That's the only way I can keep going, Other people have other things that they do. Prayerfully, it's legal versus illegal, but however that is to you to move past some hurt, pain, and just to keep going.
It's continuous. It's a continuum. I see life. I appreciate all the nuggets of wisdom that you just provided. I think that the way I see some things on a continuum. Like if when you're in math and you see geometry with this line that have infinite points going in both directions. And every now and then you'll have interruptions. So just think about like a line, and you took your finger and you erased a little bit of the line, and you erased a little bit of the line, and you erase a little bit of the line. So it might not be in order. So you might, every now and then, you're going to erase some of those things throughout the course of the day. And as the days go on, they turn into weeks, and the weeks turn into months, and the months turn into years. Hopefully, in the process of working on those issues that you have in your life, whether it is losing a loved one or losing a client, or struggling with and just relationships and in work, in your work, personal or professional, that as we eliminate and work on those lines, that one day the line is the line of whatever that is, that grief or that sadness or that depression is gone. That is the hope. But I do concur that mental illness is like you're with mind, body, and spirit. Just like you take care of your body, you have to take care of your mind, and you have to take care of your spirit. Prayer is so essential. Prayer is essential because no matter, you'll find human frailty, even with the best systems of writing. humanity, just the simple fact that we breathe and live in bodies that at some point we know are going to expire. As hard as that is, that reality that we're going to lose the people that are close to us, I struggle with that as well. But each day I'll plant a rose. I have a little flower garden. It's not big or at all, but for the ones that I lost, that was my healing. I'll take a little rose, put it in there, and that's my healing. You have to find a way to deal with the past, so that your vision and future can come into vision, right? Because you can lose that, right? You understand? That can go away. So I love the day. I just want to say thank you. Every time we sit down and talk, we always have some good stuff, don't we? I love
God be the glory.
You want to provide some contact information so that if somebody wants to get a hold of you, they can.
Yes. Again, we're Courageous Home Care. We're located in Lee Summit, Missouri. Our phone number is 816-699-2352. Again, we do have a Facebook page, so like our Facebook page out there. And also, we hopefully pretty soon are going to have a YouTube page, and we'll keep you posted when we get the YouTube going.
Yeah, every Friday we want to continue, right? Every Friday with these great topics. Great topics. And they don't necessarily have to be employees, right? To plug in where we are, we just want to share good information, right?
Yeah, we want to be as resourceful as we may and can be. And so, if you have questions that you think we should tap into, also, just you can email us. Jeanette, give your email address.
I am J Bush, JBUSH at courageoushckc.org.
And so you can email us questions, and we can try to address it when we meet again or whenever that is. So we appreciate you guys, and
our next topics. I just want to, if we can, before we end this, we talked about the life of a caregiver, right? We want to upload the video of the caregiver and client that we interviewed, so you all can see that, and then see if you can see some parallels in your own journey. What do you think about that?
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we can talk about your thoughts on that. We want to say thank you so much, Mr. Dean. Thank you for sharing. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
The vision, being persistent. I'm just ready to go.
Yes.
I feel really charged.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.